Hey guys, what's up? So today we'll see how to access the smart contract in your web app without explicitly specifying the API and the address. So last time what we did was we explicitly gave the API from the JSON file and address from the your after deploying we copied the address from terminal and gave it in the HTML file. For today we'll do directly reference the JSON file and it will automatically pick up the API and address from the current section, and we don't have to give it. So if we make any changes, we don't have to make changes to the HTML file. It will automatically pick the deployed contract. So I'm going to create a new project. So in my workspace directory I'll do mkdir and give a project name. Let's say easy dap. Now I'll cd into easy dap and we'll do truffle init. And today we'll do one more thing. We'll do npm init too. Npm init is basically for so npm, so it will now ask for default your package name and also we can just give default values for now. So this will create a package.json file, and in this we can, so earlier we were giving the dependencies from the files. We can directly install the dependencies here through npm. So now I'm going to open atom meanwhile we are going to so we'll do atom, so it will open the easy dap. So now you can see easy dap, contract migration test and truffle config are from truffle init. Package json is the new file from npm init. So here we can specify the dependencies, the scripts and all, so it makes a little more easier for us. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and install some dependencies. So first we'll do npm install ethereum / web3.js. So I actually faced an issue with this, but let's try this out once if the issue is resolved or not. Ideally we should do npm install web3, but that does not install the files. So a workaround for this, when I googled I found this npm install ethereum / web3.js, but last time this was also giving an error. Not error, but the script is successfully, it installs web3, but we need a specific file dist / web3.min.js, which it is not installing for some reason. So web3 is installed. I'll go to node modules, web3, and here you can see the dist folder is not there. That's why we have to include it manually again. So I'll just go to my workspace and copy from some old project copy and paste it in our easy wrap. So rest all dependencies we can install through npm install. So now we'll install Truffle contract. So this is the dependency which will help us to read the JSON file directly without including the API. So Truffle contract is installed, and one last thing we want to install is npm install light server, I think. So this is basically a web server like your Apache Tomcat or Jetty, and it is a very lightweight server. So earlier we were accessing the file directly in the browser. Now we'll set up a lightweight server to access it. So in local there are some issues. If we access the file locally, it does not allow us to read a file and gives us some error. So going forward also it will make things easier for us to host it on a server and see how it will actually be working in the real environment. So now I think we have everything we need. So if we have a look at package.json, we can see 3 dependencies listed, and you can list the dependency here also first, then do npm install, and it will install the missing dependencies. And one thing we want to change here is, so we want to start your server. So we want to include a script here. So I'll name the script as dev. So when we do npm run dev, it will execute this script, and what we want to execute is light server. Right, and for dev script we want to give it dependencies as dev dependencies. And I'll cut light server from here. Right, let's save it. Now let's go ahead and start building our contract. So I'll create a new contract, person.sol, pragma solidity 0.5.8, and I'll do contract person, and now we'll have a 2. So basically for strings is a complicated thing, somewhat complicated thing in Solidity, because it's have a higher gas price. So for now we'll use byte 32 for string and give it name, and event is age. Let's set up a function get person. It will be external view only, and it will return bytes 32 comma event. So this is basically a new thing if you are coming from JavaScript or Java, basically for that matter. We have the ability to return multiple variables in a single return statement. So I can return name comma age in a single statement, right? Again I'll create a function set person. It will give us byte 32 name and given age. Again it will be external, and we'll set name is equal to name, age is equal to age. Okay, we'll create a migration file to deploy contracts.js. We'll do const person and module dot exports function deployer deploy person. And semicolon. So you can also just copy the syntax from here also. Person artifacts dot require module dot exports function deployer dot deploy, and I think it's correct. Now let's go ahead and try to compile this. So I'll do truffle compile. Meanwhile we can start our ganache. Yeah, it's compiled successfully. Now go ahead and migrate it. Okay, so we also need to change the port. Now it's deployed successfully. Now what we want to do is leave it alone for a little while. Create a new file index.html and so we'll do HTML and it will give us a nice start. Title will give easy dap. We'll go ahead and include the scripts here. Script source is equal to web3 dot min .js, close script. Next is, now I want to include Truffle-contract. So we'll have a look at this directory where we installed it. And here Truffle-contract, dist Truffle-contract.js. Copy project path. Close script. And next thing we want to include is your jQuery, and I'll just paste jQuery here and script. Right now I think we have all the dependencies. Now we can go ahead and start writing our script. So we'll do where web3 provider is equal to new web3 dot providers dot http provider, and we'll do localhost 8545. We'll just close the script. We'll do where web3. So we don't actually need this. We can just go ahead and do $.get json. So this will import the file. So we want to import build/contract.person.json. I'll just copy the project path. So whenever we make any changes to the contract and compile, this file will be updated and will be automatically pulled up by our HTML index.html, and this will give us return the contents of the file in the data. Right now we want to set variable person artifact is equal to data. Then we'll do where person contract is equal to Truffle contract and give person artifact. Next we want to do person contract dot set provider, and we'll give web3 provider. So this is the Truffle contract for which we have included the Truffle contract script. It will give us the Truffle contract and we have to give in our artifact, and it will automatically pull the ABI from there, and it will also pull the address from the running instance from this provider. So we have set the provider to web3 provider. Now it has the ABI and your address. Now we can go ahead and start interacting with our contract. So we'll do person contract dot deployed dot then function so dot person contract dot deployed will return your contract instance, and using then and function instanc we can use that instance. So we'll give a person instance is equal to instance. So now we have the actual instance of the deployed contract, and now we can use this person instance to call. And one more thing, either earlier we were doing the default account, we were setting the default account using the web3, so we can do that here also, where web3 is equal to new web3 and web3 provider, right? And here we'll give web3 dot eth dot default account is equal to web3 dot eth dot accounts 0. Either we can do this will also work, but there is another way of doing this. So we can directly pass the address in our method call only, so we don't need to do this. So I'll just remove it for now, and in my function call personal instance I'll call set person dot set person, and we'll give Ankit 99, right? And we can give explicitly the account which we want to use. Okay, so still we want to access the account, so web3 dot eth, so we'll just do where web3 dot eth dot accounts 0, and here we want to do where web3 equal to new web3 provider. So account will give, and we'll do console dot log and person instance dot get person. Right, let's go ahead and save it. And now we want to start our web app on the server, so we'll do npm run dev. So this will run our dev script which we specified, and it started our website on our local host 3000. Let's go to the console, and syntax error unexpected token localhost 30 before script. Okay, let's just do this only. I think I have got the syntax wrong. So we'll do web3 dot eth dot default account for now. Let's just do hex to string to hex. Let's just do string here for now. Go ahead and save it. So I'll need to close this for now. Restart it. Migrate. So during migration it will automatically compile any changes and give me an error. So it says data location must be memory for string. Here also. So your solidity basically has two places where I can store the variables. One is memory, it's like your RAM. As soon as the program finishes, the memory variables got vanished and the storage variables remain. So these are by default storage, and if we specify memory, they are in memory. So since string is huge, very huge computationally, And compiler gives us an error because these are just, we are just passing the values, we don't need to store these variables. Okay, it's now saying call data. I don't know what call data is. We'll have to Google it. Maybe this is a new function. Sorry, new modifier, since I am using the 0.5.8 version. I haven't yet explored it fully. So now our contract is deployed. Now we'll just pass it. Okay, save it. From field must be defined. So now it's asking for the address actually here. So we'll give from default account. Yep, so now you can see Ankit and 99. If I change the value to, let's say, Mugambo 199, save it. So it will take some time to mine the block, and after it's mined it will be updated here, Mugambo 199. So this is basically how, there were some issues here. I think it is not picking up the default account, but we can get around that. So basic aim was to show you that how we can directly pick up the API and address from this file. So we can do that by getting Truffle contract and setting the provider.